What is good, everyone? Welcome to today's Q&A with the 1%. I'm going to be answering any questions that the 1% students may have, and then after that we can let them on stage and stuff. So let's get into it. Does Patty ever do these Q&As? Yeah, he does Q&As Monday, and then I do them Wednesday today. So yes, sir. Okay. Could you briefly go over what valid higher time frame levels that price can manipulate to that create true low of day and high of day for daily profiles? Yeah, so it just comes down to fair value gaps. So higher time frame gaps would look like a 15-minute bullish fair value gap or an intermediate low inside of a gap. So I usually like to use for specifically, like, I guess, daily profiles, like 15-minute, hourly, 15-minute, 30-minute, hourly, 4-hour, daily, fair value gaps or intermediate lows inside of fair value gaps. So like if price does this, then this could be like a valid point in which we don't have to go back to, like, let's say London made this low of day, then we could just keep trading away from this, and we'll most likely have, like, since London already had manipulation, we'll usually just have New York continuation. That's if there's still draws and liquidity available and we're still in a buy model. Or like that's a valid key level, or also if we hit a low inside of a gap. So if like there's already a low and then price does this during like London session or Asia, whatever, this would be valid. But yeah, time frames would be that time frames: 15-minute, 1 hour, 4 hour, all that stuff. Same trade analysis, let's go, bro. Yeah, today was super textbook. Yo, could you show me how to backtest this? I'm having difficulty with it. Start from highest time frame. Yep, look for draws and liquidity. Okay, yeah. Wait for price to sweep, touch any one of these liquidity zones. Enter upon the order. Yeah, just a couple of things that are off about this. So first is like, when you're looking at the 4-hour chart, you're looking for liquidity pools, but also you're looking for the overall trend. So if the overall trend on the 4 hour is bearish, then you're gonna look for a short. Or if the overall trend on the 4 hours is bullish, you're most likely gonna look for a long. That's if we haven't hit like a new key level yet. So what do I mean by that? Let's say for today, for example, bearish until what? Until we hit, like, the 4-hour chart is extremely bearish here, right? Let's go right here. 4-hour chart is extremely bearish. We're respecting bearish gaps. So I'm just going to be looking for shorts. So that's what you should be doing coming into the day. And there's also like a really easy thing that you can do is just asking yourself, well, even if I wanted a long, what could I be longing off of, right? There's no narrative for longs either way. So there's no gaps we're bouncing off. There's no liquidity we've taken. So if I needed to long, it would have to be we either take out this low or we hit this gap here. But yeah, so bearish until proven wrong. So that's like the first step. Then the next step is you're going to look for price to essentially manipulate into a liquidity pool, or oh shit, what's happening? Or manipulate into a higher time frame. Manipulate into a liquidity pool, being like an hourly intermediate high or something right here, or just a fair value gap. Basically, just manipulate into a fair value gap or an intermediate high and low into a fair value gap. Or sometimes we can literally just distribute, and then you look for a continuation. And then, yeah, you wait for an inversion, and then you target. You don't have to target only unfilled gaps. You can also target, for example, me, I targeted previous day low today as my draw on liquidity. So you can target, lows. It doesn't always have to be unfilled gaps, but that's what the mech is, just unfilled gaps. But yeah. Does Patty ever just answer that? Thoughts on this 2-minute short? 2-minute short. It looks good. Looks good. I think that was just an unfortunate break even. Took this long today. It was definitely incorrect bias. Yeah, bearish SMT. Yeah. I just don't think there was no reason to be bearish until maybe we hit. Bullish until we hit again. Either like this low or this gap, I would say, is like a point where you could be bullish. But there's no reason to be bullish today. Still get stuck at getting my drawn liquidity right. Can you help me? Yeah, you just ask yourself, what are we respecting versus disrespecting, and where are we trending towards? You kind of have to, again, put yourself in like you have to look at the market in both ways. So when I'm coming to the day, I'm asking myself, if I were to be bullish, what's the narrative behind that? Right now, there's really zero narrative because I literally can't long here. Why? Because we're not bouncing off of any gap to the left of us. There's no fair value gap we're bouncing off. And we haven't hit this low resting inside of this gap. So either we hit this low and then I could look for a long, or we do this and then I can look for a long, right? But right now, since we're just in this higher time frame sell model, we're just clearly disrespecting bullish and respecting bearish. If we're disrespecting bullish and respecting bearish on the 4 hour, that's going to lead to a higher time frame. We are going to be bearish. So I want to see price do the same thing on the lower time frame, and then just look for models inside of models and look for, 15-minute chart to look similar and look for a setup there. But yeah, you just basically ask yourself that. I have a whole entire video on drawing liquidity in the 1% WAP. So definitely check that out. Price stop me at breaking on NQ. Yeah, I would say so. Check out today's journal. Bearish at NQ. Nice, bro. W. Very good. Can you explain why in your trade you didn't take the final IFVG of the leg? Because I just care about the manipulation leg that hit the key level. So if we look at the 30-second chart today, right? We have this swing to this high, swing low to swing high. So if I'm going to be bearish, I do not need to see price trade through this gap down here. It's just not necessary, especially after the massive amount of displacement I just had off this and the key level and the extremely obvious draw, right? If I'm gonna wait for this gap all the way down here to get inverse, bro, my risk reward would probably be like negative. I don't even know. Like, let's see if I had to wait for a close on this. I don't even think I got an entry. No, yeah, you wouldn't have got an entry now. So there's no reason to. We got a change in state delivery also on the 32nd. You don't need that confirmation. If you wanted to, right? Let's say you wanted to take this and you were hesitant about it because this unfilled gap. Well, you can just go break even once we hit this intermediate low here. But you know from this that we're at least going to go down to this intermediate low, right? So at least we're going to do that. But I would say even that this is just it's not even a good break even either. But yeah, that's just if you wanted to be extra cautious. The trade you took had a 5-minute just open up of your stop loss. Yeah. So this has happened a lot of, like, I think it was the second trade I've taken this month, or no, it was last month. It was the same exact trade, looked exactly like this. So many people were clowning me, like, oh my god, a 5-minute open up your stop loss. And it doesn't matter because for two reasons. One, we're bouncing off this change in state. We also rebalance this range, right? Rebalance this range. We have a change in state delivery. So me knowing this, and also after the amount of displacement we just had here, I know this is going to be a breakaway gap. So what is a breakaway gap? A breakaway gap is when we have a fair value gap that gets hit, then we have a move that happens out of this, and then we open up a gap at your stop loss. So you'll see this happen on the 5-minute chart. You'll see it happen on the 15-minute chart. You'll also see 15-minute and 30-minute gaps look like this, where we hit a 15-minute bearish gap, we'll distribute, and then we'll open up a 30-minute gap at your stop loss. And a lot of times we don't retrace into that. Now, why is that the case? Because we already rebalanced this range. We literally already rebalanced this range. We already traded into this fair value gap, and we're already clearly respecting the bearish order flow here. So knowing this, and also we didn't get like any sort of choppy delivery that made me think that we would get a resweep, right? We didn't, like, no, it was an immediate reaction, an immediate turtle soup, no candles closing above, very bearish, right? So when you see things like that, it's just a clear sign that we don't have to go back up to that range, right? The range has already been rebalanced. I don't care if there's a 5-minute open up there, right? Again, I personally didn't like longs at all today. As long as they're, I wouldn't say so. As long if previously low, if it's like inside of a gap, then yes. But if not, then I don't know. Unless there's like a bunch of unfilled gaps and a super obvious draw, but I wouldn't say so. Such a clean short, nice. You ever look at 930 open, see if we're in a premium discount? Size CIC. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, key like candle openings and yeah, like opening price. You can get those kind of bottom and top tick entries. But yeah, it aligned with the 930 open. Yep. Would this be a valid trade or something you'd fade? This is a 10 a.m. short this morning. I went break even early because I was sitting in shop for like 10 minutes. Yeah, it looks like a lot of people took that. That looks good. Wow, that's a crazy close. I would have for sure gotten break even. I mean, gotten break even on that if I took that. But I think it's a good setup. The trade you took today, did you like the structure to continue lower to your target to previous day low? Wait, what? Did you like the structure to target previous day low? I mean, yeah, that's why I took the trade. So I can target previous day low. Wait, I don't get your question. Did you like the structure? I don't know. Is the 4-hour bearish CIC part of your thought process? Yeah. Was it wrong to be bullish after we souped previous day low? I mean, I would say so. It's not like this is a super valid key level. We still haven't hit this low. Like, we're still in a sell model. There's still no reason to be bullish. Like, we're not gonna hit this low and then just literally distribute up without taking out this sell side resting inside of this gap, right? There's no reason to. There's still stop losses resting here at minimum, and then at max, I would want to see is here, right? If we're gonna be bullish, we should react either off this or off this. But previously low, like, you're just way too zoomed in my opinion. I think you just have to zoom out and look at what we're actually attacking. Now, I mean, we had a good reaction off this. Why? Because we're just kind of choppy and we're range bound. But I bet a lot of people got smoked on longs because, again, higher time frame. I took a trade today, bro. Closed out early when ES took my target out 50 points, but unsure how to feel because I closed early. There's a lot of the times where I close early and then it hits TP because there's an SMT. There's nothing wrong with that. There's also a lot of times where the SMT saves you. So I'll say at least you got your piece of the pie and you got a 1-to-1 and you're confident in that. You close whatever you're confident in. There's always going to be what ifs, bro. In trading, that's always going to happen to you. Every single time you trade, what if I closed here? What if I entered here? I could have top ticked it. I could have bottom. I promise you, you guys are never going to be able to perfectly predict the bottom and perfectly predict the top every single time and having that sort of win rate and accuracy within the markets. Nobody is able to do that. Okay, so what you have to do is take what you are confident in, take your piece of the pie, what you know you are going to hit, right? If we form an SMT at previous day low here and at an extremely strong key level, maybe a little bit below, then yeah, I'll probably close early, and that's completely fine. As long as you know that this is not gonna hold, right? 11 o'clock short. Let's see. Yeah, it looks pretty good. I like the structure. I mean, what are we bouncing off? Damn, it would have been so much better if we hit this gap. I don't know. I think it's obvious just because this draw on liquidity, these equal lows is just so free. I don't know. It's just choppy though. It's just rainbow. If you have a Ferrari gap that's about to get inverse and we have a CISD below it, should we wait for the CISD? It's only if you're not confident in the trade and you need more confirmation, then I'll wait for a CISD. But no, it's not a necessary part of the entry model. Why is it invalid to be bullish? Because of what I just explained. Everything I just explained. Yeah, my mic unfortunately doesn't have a boom arm attached to it right now. I took the same trade as you today. I thought 10:24 3-minute long. Super clean. Friday, June 10th, 12th low. Yeah, so a low that's that far away, like for example, ES took that so long ago. It doesn't matter that, like, it simply doesn't matter that this got taken that long ago. Right now the market isn't showing any sign of reversing off of that when that got hit, when that SMT formed. That SMT formed on Tuesday, yesterday, at 4 a.m. We had all this price action after that, so it's not like this low is invalid. SMTs don't hold for that long, especially if we're still distributing towards it. I entered the 2-minute CIC limit order, but closed it during chop. Yes, is still inside of 5 minutes. I know I broke the rule, but I was targeting hard resistance. Was that even a bit? Yeah, it seemed good. The only problem with this, bro, is that we are just very choppy. Like, I closed this trade very early at previous day low because I knew we would be in most likely seek and destroy-ish conditions. In seek and destroy conditions, we take liquidity and then we run back up. We take liquidity, we run back up. Liquidity, run back up. And then we sometimes just eventually have like a distribution at like PM or the day after. But that's what seek and destroy conditions look like. So if we take out a low that is extremely, like a previous day low is still a pretty big draw on liquidity, it is something that you shouldn't just be now limit ordering like whatsoever. This just looks like FOMO in my opinion. I know CIC is used for extra confirmation. You can also use it as yes, exactly. When you say bearish or bullish until proven wrong, when are you proven wrong? Okay, yeah, for example, if I'm gonna be bearish on a scenario like this, I'm gonna give myself conditions to potentially be bullish. So I'll be bullish I'll continue being bearish until we hit this low and until we hit this low, and I'll continue being bearish until I see price clearly react off a level or clearly react off like this level, right? But I'm probably gonna expect price to do what? Go for this, go for this. Then we can see here, maybe we keep closing below and then we can target this, but I'm just gonna keep being bearish. But until, again, we hit a level that actually makes sense for a narrative towards the other side. Right now, there's no narrative towards the other side. I can't long. There's equal lows here. There's an unfilled gap down here. So that's the narrative. I OD pussy waited for the final 30-second. Yeah, that entry would have just been so cooked. How do you approach a 3-minute or 4-minute gap at key level? Got Ronan idea on it. Wondering how you approach them. Yeah, so I approach them same way I approach anything, any sort of key level. And it comes down to two things mainly, is like the range. So as long as we clearly rebalance the range, and also if we have like a CISD aligned with it like we did today, we have a 15-minute and a 5-minute change in state of delivery. So this is a 15-minute CISD, we have a 5-minute CISD, and then we have a 3-minute, and we rebalance the range here. That's pretty much all I need to see. Yeah, I mean, and also just the amount of displacement. Those are the things I'm looking for, the displacement off that, the reaction we get. How does my break even look today? I would say going break even there isn't bad because, again, of what I just talked about, being choppy ass search and destroy conditions. Is it seek and destroy? Why I say search and destroy like it's Call of Duty, bro? I always do that, bro. That's so funny. I was looking for PDI all day. Is this valid? I just wouldn't say longs are good. I don't like longs just because, again, bro, higher time frame. There's no higher time frame narrative behind this. Like, yes, it's sell side, but again, is there narrative behind it? No. It's too pattern trading, in my opinion. Nice, bro. Good close. Yeah, we took the same trade. Can you explain what I did wrong? Okay, you took a 5-minute IFPG. Is this a long? It's just, again, narrative. It's the same thing I've been telling everyone that took longs today. What I keep explaining with the daily bias. Just narrative. Try to trade with the trend, with the higher time frame trend, with the higher time frame buys. You're gonna get way better risk to reward, way better delivery, and you're gonna be able to hold runners for a lot longer. A 5 minute is a SMT, but like when it comes to entry model, you know, there's gonna be 30 second stuff. But I'd say for a key level, a 5 minute. Is an SMT a bullish or bearish confluence? It depends on where the SMT is forming. So if it's an SMT at the highs, then it's a bearish confluence. But understand the reasoning behind it, right? So if we take out this high on ES and we don't on NQ, then this is a bearish signal because the market swept out liquidity here on ES. Think about that. We swept out liquidity, so that's a bearish signal. Versus if we take out this low here, and let's say ES didn't take out this low here, this is a bullish SMT. And again, it can happen on both assets. On either asset, this SMT can form. ES can take out this low, this can be an NQ chart, whatever, but NQ and ES have to be uncorrelated in these lows. And this would be a bullish signal in price. Just went over that. Well, there was no entry on the 3 minute, so there's no close. Does the CISD usually get retraced to? It can. I mean, it's not like it always happens. It sometimes can get retraced to. Sometimes they were super bearish, it just dumps, or bullish, it just pumps, you know. So sometimes it can. Just the same way like for rally gaps. Sometimes we leave for rally gaps unmitigated. Sometimes we retrace to them. AMD on the 5 minute, 15 minute got respected IPG. Okay. Where was your entry though? Did you just pre-fire it or something? I don't really know. I don't know. Again, I don't really like longs today personally. Smack this 3 minute when we tapped in the higher time frame, had really good market open. Yeah, there's just no close on the 3 minute, but I don't know. I mean, if it closed, it would have been A+. I would have taken it too. No, it's not a pattern trade. But why did you close there? Why didn't you hold? Break even Tuesday. This is my first time doing MAC PDI in live markets. Entry on the 15 inverse. 15 minute inverse. No, so entries happen on the 1 to 5 minute chart. So I'd never take an entry on a 15 minute chart. There was also no entry on the 15 minute. Are you saying? I don't know. Entry on 15 inverse. But yeah, I was just explaining again the reasoning, guys, behind why I didn't like longs. Right? Again, just higher time frame is bearish until these lows. So just if you guys are gonna send a picture of you taking longs, this is the reason, right? What we keep going over, same thing. How long will you watch the market from sidelines? There's the end of the day. Well, you can just tell pre-market that it's going to be seek and destroy. Literally just looking at the market, like looking at it from here, you can clearly see we're just literally doing exactly that. We're taking out lows and highs, and we're just ripping up, taking out lows, going up, goes down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, just all day. So you can kind of expect the same. What do you think about I keep going over this. I already went over that. You still bearish at the PM session move? No. Well, let's see. Well, now we have just conditions, right? So we're kind of just bouncing between these areas. We hit this 4 hour gap. I would say if we're going to be bearish, we should have like a really good reaction off this. It looks like we're already getting a good reaction based on that. Yeah, we just got to see. I mean, this is obviously bullish now until proven wrong, I'd say. We're going to be bouncing between a gap here and then also a gap up here. I would assume we'd go back up for these relative equal highs. I was very surprised when we just dumped without these. So I would expect this to get hit. Or if we have a gap here and this gets inverse, where do we then go? Down to here. So we just got to see what we want to do inside of this range. But yeah, great spot for tomorrow for sure. Would this be the right daily profile today? It was just seek and destroy. Yeah, London Asia accumulation, New York reversal. Yes, yes, exactly. Yeah, that's actually the right daily profit. Yes, New York reversal and yep. What do you think about this limit in this EISD? Yeah, I mean, if you're confident enough to take that, for sure. Got you, bro. I mean, that was basically like my entry, except I waited for an inverse. So, would you have taken the trade if we already took out previous day low? No. Took this, and the reason I say that is because it's not an easy target, especially in seek and destroy days, bro. I'm looking for super easy, low resistant targets. If we took out previous day low in my targets, then what else am I going to be targeting that's like easy, right? It's not like an easy target. Because especially after we take out liquidity, we go back up to those highs for seek and destroy. We usually don't just retrace into for valley gaps and have these like continuation beautiful days that you normally see. No, in seek and destroy days, we go back all the way up to the highs, usually, and then just go all the way back down. And it looks like that. It's very like drastic moves, just taking out a bunch of stop losses left and right. Took this. The way I'm approaching the trade and the reason I want to take this trade, fine, or is there anything? Yeah, great setup. Yeah, this is a setup a lot of people took. Yeah, I like it. I love these shorts. Do you care about this SMT? I mean, it's like an hourly high, so like kind of in seek and destroy conditions, yeah. Especially after the reaction we got. Should I have waited for a retrace into a more bearish gaps to send lower? I really like the 3 minute, but I don't think it closed looking back. Yeah, so, well, if you took the entry on the 3 minute, then yeah, I mean, there was just no entry on it. But yeah, it's either you wait for this inverse and you take this if we get a close, or if not, then you wait for a retrace, which is what I waited for. But if we got a close here, I would have just ripped the close. How do you approach the days like where we have SMTs top and bottom? Yeah, you just pay attention to what SMTs matter. So if there's an SMT inside of a higher time frame key level, that's what's most important. And also just be paying attention to the higher time frame draw narrative. If again, the higher time frame draw narrative is bearish, an SMT that looks like this is most likely not going to hold. Why does this SMT here most likely not going to hold and send us all the way higher? Because we haven't completed the sell model. So it's all about the higher time frame sell model and just zooming out to what really matters, just the overall picture. If we get an SMT here, then this would matter, right? Because this is a higher time frame key level. This is in a spot where NQ is ready to distribute and ES is also ready to distribute. So that's what you want to see. And SMT shouldn't just be the end all be all confluence. It should be in addition to whatever model we are in, right? Just an additional confluence. Also, what time frame screenshot in the last chat, which you said it looks like a FOMO trade? I thought just wait for a 2 minute inverse. The CISD is what I said looks like a FOMO trade because you're entering after we already take out previous day low. So entering after taking out previous day low is just going to be lower probability. Because it's going to be higher resistant, especially on days like seek and destroy. One of these traders on Insta took the 3 minute shorts and open without it closed, saying was the world's most protected stop loss and most obvious strong liquidity. Do you agree with that, or do you think it's FOMO? I don't know. I don't really care what other people do on social media. Like, you guys shouldn't be caring about what other people are doing on social media, especially because probably that person is unprofitable. I don't know. It's just like focus on yourself and your own statistics. My own statistics say I need to wait for an inverse to take a setup. I'm going to wait for an inverse to take a setup. I could care less what someone is doing, and you guys should stop caring so much about other people's trades on social media. Focus on your own statistics and your own data. That's all you should care about. I had a break even, but what do you think about this? I think it's good. I think it's a good break even. I think it's a good setup. I think it's a little bit discounted. This is the only reason I don't like it, is just because it's extremely discounted. But I actually don't think it's that bad. But yeah, I mean, we're inside of a 3 minute, but that 3 minute was gonna get ran through at that point. Do you ever hop on the charts and instantly hop off? Not really, no. There's days where I mean, sometimes if we're at like all-time highs and we're literally just like we have 0 draws. But no, the majority of the time I'll wait because sometimes days can present with like really good price action, even if Asia looks horrible or pre-market looks horrible. Sometimes we can start cooking during AM. So, I'll be patient. Oh shit, no way. I'm just gonna be rotting in my room then, playing that game. What do you consider as respecting a CISD and disrespecting? Yeah, it's just literally trading into it. I mean, we could have a candle close in it. It's not like the end of the world. But yeah, if it's respected, it just literally means that we get an inverse out of it. I would say that is respected. If we trade into it, yeah, we have a couple candles that trade into it, and then we get a good inverse out of that from the manipulation leg. What is seek and destroy? It's basically where Asia session has this accumulation range and takes out London session highs and lows. If you see London take out Asia highs and lows, you're most likely going to see New York take out London highs and just do this type of price action where we're going up and down and up and down. There's a video on it in the daily profiles lesson. I know we talked about it before, but I've noticed I look for any reason not to take a trade, which is killing my win rate compared to my 75%. What's the best way to transfer the win rate? Yeah, so, right, so it's always two things that I tell you guys. For one, I would say to decrease risk. A lot of you guys are just really scared to enter into the markets because you're scared to lose money. Stop being scared to lose money. You shouldn't be scared to lose money. If you're scared to lose money, then risk lower. Risk 0.5%, 0.25% if you have to. The other thing is you guys probably aren't even looking at the markets in terms of what you actually want to see happen in front of you happen. So if we, for example, every single day I'm coming into the day, I have a really clear bias and if-then statements already in my head. And I'm also talking to myself a lot of the times. When I'm coming to every day, I'm pretty much just talking to myself. I fucking look crazy. But I'll literally just sit here and I'll just start recording and I'll just be like talking to myself. Or I won't record, again, I'll just like talk to myself and I'll be like, okay, I'm looking for a short. I want to see price manipulate higher. If we have a manipulation higher and we get an inverse to the downside, then I'm going to take a trade. So that if that happens and I'm, sitting there talking to myself out loud the scenarios that I want to see happen and it's happening in front of me, that's going to make me more likely to take it. But again, what a lot of you guys do is you'll just sit in bed on your phone under the covers and you'll just be like looking at the charts, not even knowing what you're exactly looking for. Like you should be predicting. And literally when I'm at this, when it was, let's see, what time was this at? When it was 9:40, right? When I didn't get this 3-minute entry, what am I telling myself when I didn't get this 3-minute entry? Exactly what I want to see happen is for a price to generate liquidity at previous day low, trade into the 5-minute CISD, get the highest time frame inversion out of this, and then I'll take a short. This is the exact scenario I gave. So what do? I'm waiting on the charts. And would you look at this? The exact scenario I wanted happened. Okay, so I'm going to take a short right now, right? So it's like you have to be giving yourself these scenarios. And if you're not, and you're just coming to the day like, whoa, I don't know what I want. Like, I'm just waiting for a model. And then the model happens, and you're like, well, I don't know. Is this really what I want? And then, oh, it plays out right in front of you. And, yeah, that's what a lot of people do. They just are way too reactive. Be a little bit more predictive and be always trying to, like, predict what you want to see and just be waiting for that. That's it. And have those if-then statements. It's super important. I had a break even. What do you think about this? Yeah, I already went over this. Thanks, Blake. Really made sure that draw liquidity was good. Just got caught up in it for sure. What was the aha moment for when you finally listened to your rules and became profitable? It was really just when I remember just a day where I looked at my bank account and I just saw the amount of money I blew on fundeds, and it was just a moment where I was like, there's no way I'm going to keep blowing money on fundeds for not following my rules. That was kind of just the aha moment for me. It's just like I literally can't waste any more money. And I also just kept realizing, like, bro, I put in fucking an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours a day into backtesting. I don't know, so much time into watching videos just for me to literally be wasting that time by like full porting and not even following those rules and not even following the strategy that I practice. Like, what the fuck is even the point then? So I just finally gave my statistics a chance, and what do you know, it plays out. So there's no audio, never mind. Perfect though, yeah. If then statements, these are amazing, bro. Exactly. Literally do exactly what Tristan's doing right now. Really good, bro. It's a better win rate in backtesting than me. Are you planning on streaming live trading on Kick again? No. No, probably not for a while, bro. My Wi-Fi is so bad here. I can't even fucking upload a YouTube video. Shit takes like 2 hours. I don't know how people trade on their phones. It's hard. I don't love it, but there's days where, you know, it's not even my fault. I just gotta shit and I'm on the toilet. So if there was no 3-minute frog, I got blind. Yeah, I would say so. And your trade didn't care about the fact? No. Being everything I just explained with the retrace, we already rebalanced the range. The 5-minute change state's gonna send us lower as well. So. Why'd you ignore the other 30-second in the trade you took? Because it's not necessary. I don't need to see this tiny ass gap all the way down here get inverse. If I waited for this, guys, what would be my RR if I waited for this? At best, my RR would be point like negative as fuck. A lot of the times, right? Again, especially with entry models. Well, for one, this is still a very valid entry model mechanically. Reasoning for this is because you literally just target the internal low. So what matters about this trade is the manipulation leg that hit the key level, the highest time frame inversion of the manipulation leg that hit the key level. This is the manipulation leg from this low to this high. And what's the inversion? Right here. So you're going to use this. And if we have another gap resting here inside of this low, then you can just go break even here. So it's not even a fact that this is a mechanically valid trade. The question that should be asked is, why didn't you go break even here? And that was more of a conviction thing because my stop loss was protected and my target was unprotected, and this is a really just strong displacing candle, 30-second inverse, change state delivery on 30-second as well. Yeah, everything. Let's go, Augie. And that's why you've been killing it, bro. My eval expires soon. Do you recommend on the last day if I haven't passed to full port? You could do that. I'm not going to recommend anything like that, though, as a mentor, bro. Literally anything but thinking about trading helps. That's so true, though. If price manipulates lower, creates either true high of lower day. Wait, what? If price manipulates and creates that true high low day, that you can be highly probably. Is there a way that you can be highly probably it is a higher low of day? Wait, what? If price manipulates and creates a true higher low of day initially, is there a way past it after the manipulation? Wait, I don't get your question though. What are you asking exactly? I don't know. Do you do I am statements like Patty talks about? Like manifestation? For sure. What's the most important rule to adhere when in a trade? To make sure your stop loss is protected and your take profit is in a low resistant good spot. So in your trade, watching the reaction on CSD was good enough for you to know we were returning high. Yep. There are scenarios where ES making a premium SMT doesn't invalidate you needing to see accumulation zone highs and low resistance being manipulated. Yes, if there's an if I have a for example, if we have previous day high here and then ES takes it out and then NQ doesn't and we form a bearish SMT and we get strong displacement from that level, then yes, I will not need to see that get hit because there's a bearish SMT and you can look at that as being protected. Sorry to bring the 30-second back up, but we formed a new leg when we tapped into the 30-second and created that intermediate low. Yes, exactly. We have a low here. We have a swing low, right? What is a swing low, guys? It's a candle that looks like this. Then it's a candle that looks like this. I think it's a candle that looks like this. It's a low, a lower low, then a higher low. So we have a low, we have a lower low, we have a higher low. So this is your swing low. We have a new leg that hits this high right here. This is your manipulation leg now. Highest time from inverse off this, a 30-second. Right. And then you can go for this. You can go break even here if you want, or you can go break even here, or you don't go break even. And you want to just have big balls and hold it, then go for it. Can you please show once again the way you place the order using long and short? I can only put limit and not a market. Yeah, for sure. So you mark out your tool like this, and then you open it up and you put your risk. You can do $500, $250, whatever 1% or point, whatever risk management you want. Do the same thing with your short position tool. And then let's say you want to take a trade here. You right click it, and then you click create limit order, and then instead of limit, you just go over here and hover over market, and you click that, and then you see how it's like automatically adjusting the amount of contracts based on the close. And then I'll just enter whenever the market closes, or whenever the inverse happens. And yeah. Should we always wait for a condition to represent itself, then an inversion would be created precedent? No, I mean, I assume inversion execute. Yeah, it's fine if that's the case. Yeah, we hit a key level and then you get an inversion. Yes. Let's say there's 2 fair value gaps in a leg. When using the fib tool and trying to find EQ, should it be done in the 5-minute time frame? Yeah. Yes. When we have, for example, a 5-minute IFEG, that is the highest time frame. We have two 2-minute fair value gaps, and just one got closed, and the other one halfway. Would it be good and confident with the 5? Wait, hold on. When we have, for example, a 5-minute IFEG, that's the highest time frame. We have 2 5-minute fair value gaps, just got closed, and the other one halfway. Confident with the 5-minute IFEG close. I'll be fine with the 5-minute close. What I mean is, say there's a level you think is true high of day or low, and price eventually just blasts past it. What would cause that? What causes that is if we complete the sell model or buy model that we were currently in that created that higher low of day. So for example, let's say London had a manipulation that looked like this. Then before New York, we ended up completing the sell model. Okay, then this high is no longer going to be a protected high and a true high of day, because now we're starting to get displacement back up towards this high, and we already completed the sell model. All right, versus if we are still in the sell model and we have price doing this, then New York is opening, and this is going to be a protected high most likely. But again, it's not like a 100% win rate concept. Sometimes we can go up, soup this high, have price action looks like this, but the majority of the time I'd want to see this high be protected until the sell model is complete. Right? Good question though. Honestly, I wouldn't even wait till the last day. Okay, cool. This looks like an alright mech setup. 3:45 p.m. What are we doing? 4 p.m. But yeah, it looks good. It looks good other than the time. If we had a 2-minute for rally gap, we rejected noticeably in the leg. However, we closed something like a 4-minute. You still take it? I mean, it depends, guys. It's not, again, it's not like I don't know, questions like that are like very like mechanical questions that are hard to answer because every single scenario is different, you know? So, but yeah, just take it with a grain of salt, but yeah, just highest time from inverse, you take the highest time from inverse of the leg. That's that. If you have a great draw on liquidity and you have a protected stop loss and you have all that displacement, then those discounted ask for value gaps should probably get ran through as well if the highest time from closed. Yeah. Oh, okay, got you. I was gonna say, bro's trading at 4 p.m. I was like, well, what? But yeah, it looks good. What percent of my account balance should I risk on any given trade? I would say if you're just starting out, risk 0.5%. So if it's a 50K account, risk $250. And then eventually you can, I mean, scale up to like 1%, but that's if you are profitable, I'd say, bro. 0.5% you should stick with. Okay, cool. Do you guys anyone wanna come on stage now? Ask some questions on stage. Alright.
Yo, bro, what's up? Are you good?
What's up, bro? I'm great. How are you?
I'm good too, yeah.
Hell yeah.
I hope you are enjoying your vacation in Costa Rica, you know?
Oh, much love,
And
bro. Thank you, dog. Yeah. We'll
yeah,
start.
I see the videos and shit. I would also like to go there one day.
Bro, for sure. Guys, pull up. It's a vibe.
All right, so I'm here to talk about one thing that it's kind of um, I don't know how to say it, bro. But like, for example, I I I used to compare myself a lot to other person. For example, I passed my eval like a month ago, and I've been trading my funded, and I've been working on getting a payout, you know. And I see all these persons getting a payouts and taking so many trades, good and shit, and I feel like I'm behind, you know, and I start to compare myself and thinking, what if I um, put my frequency bigger, or I don't know, you know. For example, it's so strange that how I compare myself and then I can destroy my process so fast, you know. I
Yeah.
don't know if this ever happened to you again.
Oh, 100%, bro. Yeah. Comparison is the thief of joy, right? That's the saying. So, I think going on social media and seeing other traders is can definitely be like, I mean, bro, me to this day, if I see like Patty take a trade that I didn't take, I'm like, damn, that's fucking annoying, right? Or anyone else. But I'm at a point now really where I don't really care too much about what other people are doing because I'm profitable and I know that, and I'm going to just trade my system and my statistics, and I know that's gonna make me money in the long run. So I would recommend, bro, just honestly muting all traders on social media if that's something that would help you. I did that at the start. I did that. I literally didn't look at anyone else on social media and just literally zoned in on my statistics and my model because that's all you have to care about, bro. In the long run, also, that's just social media is literally just highlights. So people don't see people show those payouts, but then they don't show the amount of losses that they took before that, the month it took to actually get that payout, how long it took to get that payout, and again, it's just a highlight. So just stay locked in on yourself, bro. That's really at the end of the day all I have to say to you. Like literally, just focus on yourself. The more you focus on yourself, the more profitable you will become. I'm telling you, a lot of you guys just care so much about what other people. This person took this trade. This person did this. This person did this. This person said this, and it's like, who gives a fuck? Is that person? Do you even know if that person's profitable? If they are, also, who cares, right? Like, you know that you have a profitable system that you've back tested that works for you, and you know that you just have to spend time trading that system, right? Give it a chance, and just stay patient, bro. Trading is not going to be, you're not going to get a payout in one day. You're not going to get it in 2 weeks. Sometimes it takes a month. Sometimes it takes 2 months. Who gives a fuck how long it takes, bro, to start making money from trading, right? At the end of the day, this is a skill that will pay you for the rest of your life as long as you just stick true to it. So, again, bro, just take your time. That's really it.
It's kind of like me versus me, right?
Exactly, bro. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Also, I recently I started because like for example, I saw one advice you gave was like to hide the PNL and don't to look at the PNL for like 30 days and you get a payout, you know. And I'm starting to do that, and also I'm journaling my trades in the RR, not PNL, you know. So like
Fire.
I don't have nothing to do with the outcome, you know. And I kind of like hope this betters my trading. And yeah, what do you think about that?
No, that's amazing, bro. Exactly what I told you guys, bro. That's perfect. Yeah. Um, yeah, I have no
Okay.
notes. That's perfect, bro.
All right, bro. So thank you for your advice about the comparison, because like it is very stressful sometimes, and I just like wanna do my thing, you know, and yeah, let the things play out, doing the inputs to then see the results.
Hell yeah, bro. That's the only thing you should be caring about. The inputs. I love it. All right, bro.
All right, thank you, bro. Thank you so much. I hope you enjoy your vacation in Costa Rica more time and that. So yeah, thank you for letting me be in stage. Have a good one, bro.
Thank you, bro. You have a good one too, man. Have a good rest of your day. Peace out. All right, cool. Anyone else want to come on stage? Um. Just showing. Can you review my trade from yesterday's open? Well, 30-second chart. Okay, ski. Okay, ski. Very nice. Very nice. SMT at the top. When our bearish rally gap stop went. 30-second break even 2 minute. This was yesterday. Yesterday. It was Asia Open. Oh, okay, 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 I got you. Yeah, I was like, damn, that shit looked hella clean. Um, all right, yeah. No, it looks good though. Looks good. Looks like a very textbook setup for sure. Um, I like it. I don't trade Asia, but shit, everyone trade in Asia, bro. I'm up on the wave. What trading view plan do I need to be able to backtest? Don't backtest the trading view, but I don't recommend backtesting a trading view. I recommend backtesting with FX Replay or TradeZella. TradeZella is good though because you can do backtesting and you can do journaling on it. So, but FX Replay I've been using since the jump. What's it called though? What were you just saying? But yeah, just the plan that lets you be able to trade live markets. That's the plan that's most important. Yeah. Asia giving me FOMO. Last picks. Oh, like in the thing? Higher time from draw used as magnet. Very nice, yeah. No, it's super nice. Stack PO3 ski. Little SMT ski, very nice, very nice. Yeah, Asia looks clean. Determining when there's a flip in order flow is like the hardest thing for me to grasp. Like, if I was mainly bullish and wanted to catch a bearish retracement, how does that swing ever do it? If we complete the sell model or the buy model, right? So again, if I am bearish, how will I flip? Like, how will I flip order flow here? You got to ask yourself, well, if I'm going to be bullish, what the fuck are we even bouncing off? We're not bouncing off anything. So I would need to see at least this, then we can get some sort of reaction, right? And also be paying attention to what we're doing. What did we just do for the whole entire day today? We basically just chopped around, accumulated. So when we go down here, we hit a key level, we have massive distribution. What does this look like? An AMD. So now we can flip order flow to being bullish. If this was AM session, I would be extremely bullish coming to the day if the market looked like this coming to AM, right? So it's not just about, oh, higher time frame is trending bearish. It's about understanding if we could switch into a buy model or sell model, how do we do that? What key levels are we going to use? And I specifically like using the 4 hour for that. And then kind of like the 1 hour, 30 minute, 15 minute for like that confirmation. But it depends. It depends, honestly. It's not every day is just the 4 hour is the same, you know? Every day is different. Can trading ever become too mainstream? No, I mean, it's never going to get, I mean, trading's always been huge. I think now with social media though, there is a huge influx of more retail traders making up the liquidity, but I mean, yeah, again, like it's not going to change the markets in any way if it's mainstream, you know? Trading's mainstream, what is that going to do? And also, but 90% of the people trading now are not trading their own capital, like especially like in this niche. Majority of people are trading fundeds. They don't have enough, even if they did trade live capital, a majority of people do not have the amount of money they would need to be able to move a market, nor be able to actually change the market in any way, you know? How do I know when a move is manipulation versus distribution? If it's a key level, so if we manipulate into a higher time frame gap, you can basically tell if it's manipulation by understanding first the trend. So again, if we're trending bearish, a move higher is going to be most likely what? Manipulation, not distribution. Why? Because we're trending bearish and we're still in a sell model. So at the end of the day, everything revolves around like sell models and buy models. But I've just been explaining this whole call, right? So a move up is going to be probably manipulation versus this move now is probably going to be more so distribution because we're reacting off a key level. You can also tell just by like the wicks and stuff. You can sometimes tell just literally by if we're making a move of a retracement that looks like this. That's probably a sign of a continuation versus if a move looks like this and it's like a V shape, then yeah, this is probably a sign of distribution. So it's a couple of ways. Some is just like reading the market, and then other is just like purely technical. What point would you recommend scaling up? I mean, you just get a payout after you get your first payout, just reinvest that back into firms and scale like that. Get another account, and then just slowly scale it to 2 accounts, to 3, to 4, to 5. And yeah, thoughts on the 15-minute comp that failed yesterday? I thought it was a good loss. I just personally didn't take it because higher time frame was just not aligned. I didn't think there was a reason to be trying to target a high like this gap up here. It's like, why would I try to target that when we're just so bearish on the higher time frame? I'd rather just look for a short, have that play out, and then look for a short. There was just no way I was going to long yesterday. There's no reason to. When higher time frame, there's no narrative behind it. I'm from Costa Rica. Super grateful to be in the mentorship. Been here for weeks. Fine anytime you need. Oh hell yeah, bro. Much love, dude. I will let you know. How often are you using? Well, yeah, bro. How do you guys get shit over here? I ordered something, said it came to my door, and that shit did not come to my door. Like, it's like how do you order a package, bro? I'm trying to get a new mic, and I can't get it here. So that's the only thing about Costa Rica, bro. If you need something, I don't even know. Like, I don't know how I'm gonna get anything. How often are you using conditions? Every day in my trading, I'm using a condition. A condition is just an if-then statement, so I'm always using if-then statements. I haven't taken a trade this week. Do you think that's bad? It depends on if that's bad for you and your strategy that you're trading, your statistics. If it's aligned with your statistics, then yes. If it's not, then fix it, you know? Literally get yourself a fade journal and be looking at the market every day and see if you're missing out on setups or if you're not missing out on setups. I took these longs yesterday after we souped the low and retracing the 3-minute and 5-minute RB. This was today? Oh, yesterday. Oh yeah, I remember this. Yeah, I peeped this. This looked good, but again, I was just so bearish. I don't know. I was just married to being bearish yesterday. Yeah, but I don't know. No. The market is not gonna. Guys, you guys are the majority. The people are trading on funded accounts. And also 80% of people are 90% of traders are not profitable. 95%. Majority of people are not profitable. You know, it's not gonna change it in whatsoever. No. At what point does ES not being a good substitution make you not take a trade? It's not like I mean, with ES, bro, I'm caring about it, but to a certain extent. Like, I care about it to the point where maybe if we're super close to like a daily low on ES, then I'm not gonna long it, even if NQ looks good, because we're probably gonna go to it. You know, so that's when I care about ES, in terms of when I'm looking at it for bias and things like that. If order flow flip before taking out your drawn liquidity, would you ever flip your bias? So if order flow flip before taking out your drawn liquidity, no, then that would just be manipulation, right? If that's not a flip in order flow. If we go up after not even taking out anything, is that, oh my god, bro, there's literally just a fat monkey in this tree in front of me. Oh my god, there's a bunch of them. Wait, bro. Hold up. Hold up. Hold up. Hold up. Peep this shit, boys. How do I fucking use this camera? Why isn't this shit working? Dude, this monkey's so cute, bro. What the hell is going on? Why isn't my camera working? Bruh. That blows. There's just this cute ass monkey. Wait, let me just join my phone. Oh, movie. Bro, peep this. Look at this guy. You see him? Whoa. Whoa, look at that one with the baby. What's up, bro? Dude, right when I ended that shit, he fucking flew off, bro. He just jumped off. That was crazy. Alright, should feed them? Hell no, that's like the worst thing to do. Bro, I could not. If you start feeding them, that's when they like start opening your door and start like coming into your crib for food and shit. Yeah, the view is ridiculous. Yeah, I'm gonna hit a little sunset surf. Waves are firing. What time is it? 5:12. I have like a 30-minute surf sesh. All right. Do you guys have any other questions, or are we good? Anything else? Shout. How long are you from the beach? I'm literally like a 5-minute walk ish. But it's not like the beach that's good for surfing. It's like a 5-minute drive. But yeah, I mean, I'm right across from it. Take us to the surf sesh. I'll get a little clip. If we are high resistant, still trigger a trade that aligns a higher time frame bias, or wait for a condition or something. If we're between two levels of high resistant liquidity, then I won't take a trade. I need to see price targeting a really clear unfilled for value gap, or targeting on the higher time frame a intermediate low or something that's not super high resistant. But if I think we're in between two levels that are high resistant, that means that I do not have a clear drawn liquidity. And if I don't have a clear drawn liquidity, then I'm not going to be taking a trade. Should I buy the 30-second trading view plan? I would say so. How do you know when something's high resistant? when we end up hitting it and we get a good reaction off it. So a high resistant level is just a fair value gap, or a low inside of fair value gap, right? Just key levels. And then if we get a really good reaction off that and it's aligned with the higher time frame bias, then you know that that low is going to be a higher resistant low in the market. Or a high. I would say so. Thanks for Chacha. I think you made everything that was confusing me with bias and draw liquidity completely clear. Fire, bro. That's exactly what I want to hear. Beautiful. Cool. Any other questions, guys? I just tapped in. Did you see the 4-minute inversion long? No, longs are not valid. I don't like longs. I'm sorry. I just personally do not like longs today. I think higher time frame was again very bearish. I'll post the whole recording right now, but I just think it was too bearish. Bearish bias. We had previous day low, equal lows here. We had this sell side here. We had this. If we were going to be bullish, at minimum, we'd need to see this get hit or this get hit for me to think about even longing. No, I'm in Costa Rica, bro. About to get another payout. Let's go, bro. Let's go, Blaze. Congrats, dude. Third one within the mentorship. That's actually insane. Actually creating fucking killers in this bitch. Thanks for the call. Pura vida, boys. Movie. How do you get the conviction of taking a reversal trade without getting a stop hunt? I get the conviction by seeing how good the reaction is off the level. So if it's like a V shape, if it's a, oh my God, bro, he just like flung from the tree. It was crazy. He literally just did like, dude, this guy is so cute, man. Aw. Okay. If you get a really good reaction off the key level, so again, if it's like a turtle soup, meaning we just wick into it and then we get a really good V shape, versus I wouldn't have good conviction if maybe we do it something like this, we trade past the key level and then we have like a really bad inverse, then yeah, we're probably gonna have a stop hunt. So then I probably would wait for a stop hunt. So those are the times. But if we hit my key level, I get a really good inversion, bouncing off the highest time frame. Highest time frame inversion off the key level, you know, then I'll take this up. I don't really care about a stop hunt. As long as my key level is good and valid, then it shouldn't be a stop hunt, right? If it's a good key level, again, it shouldn't be a stop hunt. Bet that. I will check my DMs for that. Blake, you take a man. Hell no, bro. Hell no. What's a turtle soup? It's basically just like a, if we hit a level and we don't have any wicks, or we just wick into it and we don't have any bodies closed. So like you see how we hit this liquidity here and we didn't have any bodies closed below. We just souped it, is what it's called, a turtle soup. But yeah, basically when we just wick into a low, or for example here, we wicked this high, we turtle souped this high because we didn't have any bodies that closed above it. We just literally wicked it and traded lower, so it's like a good reaction. Views from the job. Damn, blue ass water. Yeah, Miami looks so nice right now. What's the differences between draw and liquidity and higher time from key level? Draw and liquidity is your targets. Higher time from key level is where the market's bouncing off. So you have a key level, and then you have your targets being draw and liquidity. So key level, and then your targets would be draws on liquidity like here, versus your key levels would be like gaps like here. But I mean, an unfilled gap can also be a key level, or also be a draw on liquidity. Right. Would you recommend slowly incorporating other confluences such as stop hunt, CISDs? Yeah, for sure. I think it can slowly increase your win rate. Thank you, Blake and Javi on it. But thank you guys for pulling up and asking me questions and being here. Hell yeah. Do you wait for time from alignment in any case, like if 1 hour? No. I would, for example, what I mean by time from alignment, I'm not sure if Pat like explained it in his video in the WAP, but what I mean by time from alignment is if we, for example, have like a huge bullish daily fair value gap right here, I'm not going to just wait for prices to tap in this daily and look for a long. I'm instead going to zoom in because we're most likely going to have like an hourly gap within that, and then within that a 15-minute gap. And you just keep zooming in, and then it's going to just be like really higher probability versus just waiting for just the daily gap and then taking a long off that. Instead, zoom in and you can kind of just see like, okay, we have LRLL here. wait for this to get ran, and then we're probably gonna bounce off this daily for value gap down here. You know, so that's what you have to be looking for when it comes to gaps and time frames and stuff like that. But yeah, if we hit my key level and we get the highest time frame inversion out of that, from the manipulation leg that hit that, that's all that matters. What's the gayest thing you've ever done? That's a good question, bro. I've done a lot of gay things. I don't know, man. I do gay things on the regular, daily. It's hard. I don't know if there's like the gayest thing I've ever done though. It's a hard. I'll have to think about that. But good question. Yeah, this shit is crazy. I thought that this was actually AI. I didn't think this was a real photo. This is crazy. I'm gonna save this. Thank you for sending me this. Thank you, Patty. All right. Nice. Thank you. And I'm gonna end the. Yep. And it's over right there. Thank you guys for coming. That's gonna just end it right there. All right. I'll see you guys later. Let me upload this to the WAP. I'll see you guys later though. Peace out, guys. Have a good rest of your day.